Herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe SI Talk, mein letzter Tag. Ich habe sozusagen schon die Koffer gepackt und habe aber jetzt noch in meinem Apartment, das ich mit einem Kollegen auch teile, weil sonst kann man sich ja da hier ein Zimmer ja gar nicht leisten, noch einen interessanten Gast bei mir. Er ist der CEO von Drohnen Delivery Canada, die ist auch gelistet an CSE unter FLT, hat aber auch ein deutsches Listing, und neben mir sitzt Tony Di Benedetto. Is it right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I do it. Tony, thank you to have time, and this is a very unique story.
Absolutely.
And it's nothing but the main reason why I come over was the PDSC,
Yes.
and this is resource driven, but you are more in delivery area, but in a special area.
Yes.
But explain by yourself.
It's a technology business. So I've been a technology entrepreneur since the 1990s. I've built, operated, sold a variety of different Canadian technology companies. And after we sold our last business, we said, what's next? What do we see as the next big disruptive technology and something that we would find very interesting? And one of the areas we looked at was drones. And for us really to understand drone technology was, where do we see a fit for it in society? And more so, where would the government eventually allow us to utilize the technology? Because we can have the best idea in the world, but if we can't operate it commercially,
and for
there's
me,
no business.
And for me, when I saw the video, and I saw also an interview yesterday on Bloomberg,
Yes.
From you, drones are, we know, we read this in the newspaper, like Amazon and so on, think to use drones to deliver their
Yes.
their stuff to the people, but really the government, to get a permit of it, when I think it's really the biggest hurdle.
Absolutely. So when we looked at this, we said, before we develop a business plan and try to come up with what we believe is the right way of doing this, let's spend time with the government and really understand where they potentially could see the applications for this technology. And we spent a lot of time in Ottawa and talking to a variety of different regulators. And what we saw, the right place to start was in the backyard, was in the rural parts of Canada. In Germany, DHL is doing this in the Alps. Austria, in these kind of areas, in these remote little communities. And Canada is a very unique geography. We have over 1,000 remote communities that exist, and there's no infrastructure, there's no roads. So a lot of these communities were relying upon ice roads, but because of global warming, the ice roads are slowly diminishing. So we said, if there's a place for drones, for logistics, for deliveries, this is the right place to start, in our opinion. Big open spaces, far and away from people, point to point, moving goods and supplies, building a railway, a highway in the sky, linking these communities. And that's where we started. So we went out, we spoke to the government, and they said to us, we're very proactive on technology, very innovative, the Canadian government, and we want to see this succeed. We want to be leaders in this space. And Canada was a leader in drone technology, and they kind of fell behind a little bit, but hopefully now we're going to put them back on the map.
And coming to for my better understanding, mean this also like we have this in the past, and when you have the airplanes,
Yes.
that you have a corridor,
Yes.
And say, okay, here is the corridor for drones. They can fly to this town. And a certain, how high you can fly and so on.
Yeah.
Is it a kind of plan to
It's
to get-
for us, it's a point to point,
Yes.
depot to depot is the way we call it.
Okay.
Predefined flight path from community A to community B, B to C, C to D, and away you go. So it's a controlled process. And we've been fortunate that we've been able to partner with our university partners, the academics, University of Toronto and Waterloo. And back in 2010, our Canadian federal government created a drone UAV research program for Canada, and they enlisted these academics. And we looked at this, we saw this opportunity early enough that we partnered with these organizations, and we brought them on board. So our researchers are the smartest minds in Canada, according to the federal government. So collectively, we're working to bring this to commercialization. We were granted our test licenses last October, and we've been doing testing in Southern Ontario. I believe we've received 2 to date licenses for testing.
For a certain area.
Yes, a specific area.
So you have town A, town B.
Yeah.
You have a depot there and depot
Correct.
here, and you fly from A to B and deliver their stuff.
You got
now you have a test.
Absolutely, and that's the way we see it. It will start.
So that's mean when I'm looking, okay, now if in Canada, you build up a grid,
Yes.
say from A to B, then from B to C, C to D, and back. If it's going always the same direction, you don't deliver this to the individual person, you deliver this to a depot.
Depot, yes.
A depot and storage.
Like a helipad.
Yeah, and a helipad and storage the package there, and then the people come and pick it up from there.
That's where we foresee this is the starting solution.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, down the road,
Maybe it's go then.
maybe it'll start coming to your apartment, to your house, to your whatever. But we need to take baby steps
Yeah.
and work with everybody, the regulators.
So come to your competitors. I can't believe that the DHL and so on, they are not want to be that you are too successful if you not work with them together. So how you looks your competitor looks to this situation?
So we have a very unique problem with this business, and the problem is we don't market to clients. We're not calling clients looking for them to engage. They call us. So today we've announced partnerships with Staples, United Auto Parts, Napa Auto Parts. They see specific applications for this, and we're working with approximately 40 more clients. We're bringing them down the pipe. Some of them can be crown corporations, government agencies, corporate services companies, medical, food.
Medical is also
Logistics. There's a lot.
Before we go a little bit deeper in which size and weight you can deliver with the drones.
So we looked at this business. We said, let's not focus on the drone for us. Our focus is to build the software and the systems and the applications that really make all this solution really work. Almost a software as a service product that we enable this technology for our clients. When it comes to the drones, today if you look at our videos online, you can see some of our drones, some of our test flights. These are prototypes that we've developed with our academic partners. But really our model is to utilize drones coming out of Asia, Japan, wherever the case may be, and integrate our logic, our autopilot system within the drone and bring it into our network. No different than a cell phone on a cellular network where the hardware becomes agnostic. So in terms of capacities, where we are today we're working with 7 to 10 pounds. Talking to our clients, their magical number is about 5. So we're well with that. But then as these drones keep increasing capacities and speeds and technology continues to evolve, really becomes limitless where it can go. And you've seen like some of the drones working in the US.
Your software, that's a good idea to take the similar to the telephone carriers that you have the grid.
Yes.
And the software.
Yes.
And the other have the hardware and put the software with the hardware together and
we're not a hardware.
You have an interface and so on, and then they can work on your road. I must say.
You're correct. We're not the hardware company. There's too much hardware being developed around the world, and that's not a battle I don't think we can win. But for the software, we filed patents around this technology,
and also for the permitting stuff. I think it's
and that all creates the wrap around the license to fly.
Yeah. So okay, what are the next step? You have now a test area, but you can provide the service. What's next? What's coming up?
So we've been doing a lot of testing. We test every single day with our research partners, as I said. We just successfully completed a raise. We started looking for $5 million to help accelerate some programs, and we were surprised the level of interest specifically from institutional funds. We closed approximately $11 million financing in record speed. And with this now, we really have the horsepower to accelerate the commercialization And we're looking right now to partner with some indigenous communities, some Aboriginal communities in the north, and commence bringing this to advanced testing and move towards commercialization for next year, early next year.
And you get then a kind of license, or how, is this like the post office get a few dollars for the deliver from is this kind of
the way it works, we are a client, for example, a Staples, if we refer to Staples. A Staples would subscribe to our service. We deploy our technology within their location. We train their staff on how to utilize this technology, and then they operate, but we oversee through a network operations center. So
what it's mean like on the airport, you get I fly
air traffic
ABC, air traffic control. ABC flight now is
correct. Yeah, and
this drone is flying totally automatically.
It's a very complicated process. What happens in the back end, but it is a flying robot. In Canada, the government does not like the word autonomous. So it's automatic, they call it, or semi-autonomous. And what that means is like a driverless car. Although the car can drive from point A to point B on its own, robot, if a human has to intervene, it needs the ability to do that. So that's our mission control center, where our licensed pilots can oversee multiple drones at any given time. And if they need to intervene in a specific flight or mission, they can do so, and they can take remote control of this unit and do whatever needs to be done. So this is the way to operate this technology safely and effectively in a framework. So it's really an amazing technology of what is happening. And 3 years ago, when we came up with this concept and we were talking to some bankers, and we said, this is like driverless cars. Driverless cars will come, and you're going to see this happening, whatever. And they looked at us and said, you're absolutely crazy. The government will never allow driverless cars. Well, look at today. So autonomous vehicles is here, and it is happening, and the next evolution is drones. We're just looking to do this, to start it in baby steps, in the backyard, to service an immediate need.
Makes absolutely sense. Tony, thank you for this first interview. Hopefully we have time next time when I come to Toronto to see also the operation. This time it was not possible to come to your facilities. Sorry about this, but this sounds really great.
Thank you.
Ja, das ist wirklich eine interessante Story, mal ganz was anderes. Es geht also um Drohnen, aber wie kann man Drohnen jetzt, also dieses Business, man hat es ja sehr oft schon gelesen, von Amazon will dieses machen und die DHL arbeitet daran und so weiter, aber wie kann man das wirklich auch kommerzialisieren? Und da sind die eigentlich einen relativ smarten Weg gegangen. Die haben vor Jahren schon angefangen, mit dem Government daran zu arbeiten, so wie also selbstfahrende Autos, dass man das auch so machen kann. Und man muss sich das vorstellen, nicht so, dass das bis zum einzelnen Person gebracht wird, sondern es werden halt Depots in Städten oder Orten gemacht, die relativ schwer zugänglich sind. Er hat ja selber gesagt, es gibt sehr viele Orte in Kanada, die zum Beispiel nur mit Eisstraßen belieferbar sind. Ja, was tun sie dort, wenn es Sommer ist, die Eisstraßen nicht verfügbar stehen, aber trotzdem zum Beispiel ein medizinischer Notfall ist, dass man dort Medizin braucht oder andere Sachen. Das kann man dort relativ einfach machen, und so fliegt die von einem Ort zum anderen Ort auf einem genau festgelegten Korridor, wie Flugrouten, muss man sich das vorstellen, beim Flieger. Und dort landen sie dann, dort auf so einen, können Sie fast vorstellen wie ein Helikopterlandeplatz, dort landen die dann, dort wird es dann empfangen, das Paket, und der Kunde holt sich dort dann das ab. Und so ziehen sie sozusagen ein ganzes Netz von diesen Straßen, Drohnenstraßen über das ganze Land und können sozusagen mit alles abfliegen. Sie überwachen das, was sie da machen. Das heißt, sie sind kein Hardwarehersteller, sie sind ein Softwarehersteller. Sie sind wie die Flugkontrolle, das hat er auch gut herausgearbeitet, wie die Flugkontrolle bei den Fliegern beim Airport. Der sagt, okay, jetzt startet die Drohne 1, 2, 3, fliegt jetzt nach Stadt B, wird dort eintreffen, keine Ahnung, eine halbe Stunde später, fliegt dort vollautomatisch, kann jederzeit eingegriffen werden, wenn irgendwas technisch nicht funktioniert oder man sieht, dass starker Wind ist und die wird immer abgetrieben, das heißt, man kann händische Korrektur machen. Da haben sie auch lizenzierte Piloten, die das machen können und ja, sie haben jetzt ihre erste Testlizenz bekommen, haben eine Finanzierung gemacht von 11 Millionen, ungefähr um die 45, 48 Cent notiert die Aktie, das heißt rund 50 Millionen ist die Company wert. 11 Millionen haben sie jetzt Cash drinnen, das reicht, um das Ganze auszurollen. Sie arbeiten sehr stark mit Universitäten zusammen und ja, das könnte wirklich gut funktionieren. Das ist das erste Drohnenbusiness, vernünftige Drohnenbusiness, das ich bis jetzt gehört habe, weil dass ich jetzt schon irgendeinen Anfang, dass er bis zur Haustür liefert, an das glaube ich nicht, weil dazu fehlt einfach die Genehmigung. Das kann vielleicht in 10, 15 Jahren der Fall sein, aber jetzt noch nicht. Und deswegen finde ich die Idee gar nicht so schlecht. Sie haben auch das Kundenproblem nicht, das sind zum Beispiel Kunden, die bei Erna hinkommen, zum Beispiel Staples oder so, die, also Staples ist ein großer Office, der so Office-Sachen hat, von Kugelschreibern angefangen bis Papier und so weiter, aber auch Computer und so weiter hat, die bei Ihnen angefragt haben, können wir das dementsprechend machen, weil die sind natürlich auch interessiert, dass Sie billig ihr Gerät zu den rausgelegenen Ortschaften haben. Internet ist ja kein Problem mehr beim Einkaufen und jetzt wird sozusagen der nächste Schritt gemacht, wie kann man das zum Kunden bringen, vor allem dann, wenn es sehr entlegene Regionen sind, die nicht leicht zugänglich sind. Also spannendes Business, die Company hat wirklich eine Chance, das zu machen mit 11 Millionen Cash, haben sie auch genug an der Seite, auch den wissenschaftlichen Background von den Universitäten. Also ich muss ehrlich sagen, das schaut echt spannend aus. Ich werde die Company bei mir auf jeden Fall auf die Watchlist setzen und dann mal schauen, was da rauskommt. Tony, thank you for your time.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.
It's really a unique story. I like the story. The idea is really great. You set it great up. Then I tell us in my German outro, I don't believe that in this type of thing, like we read in our newspaper that Amazon delivered this to my home place. That's too early. That's too much.
That's the
advanced.
future.
That's the future.
We need
in 10,
to start
15
somewhere.
years.
Where are you? Yes.
Yeah, but not now. Must say, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Really,
it was a
really
pleasure.
great.
Thank you very much.